Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 20 June 2024, Thursday night, 9 o'clock. Must be time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel, and a knife sale we shall have. Before we get into the thick of it, got to do a little bit of housekeeping. As usual, first up, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post those on the screen for you in just a moment. I will also print them in the description underneath this video. Also in the description at the very top above the terms of the sale, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on the channel. The first is entitled A Primer for Buyers. That's a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. So especially if you're new, give that a watch. It will make your purchase experience go much more smoothly. The second link pertains to you if you're interested in moving along some of your collection using this weekly sales event. It's called FAQs for Consignors, and it is exactly what it says. It kind of explains how this works from the consignor's perspective and answers some common questions. The third link, as always, is to my Rates and Services video for the TheApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. Good time to send work if you need knives sharpened. Backlog is low, only about 2 to 3 weeks right now. So if you're interested, give that video a look. And then the last thing in the description, below those 3 links and below the terms, is the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left side, pricing on the right. Now, in the pricing column, you're generally going to see 2 numbers. The one to the left of the slash is the price of your knife as shown in the video, and the one on the right, as sharpened by the TheApostleP Knife Service. There will be space this week for 3 knives to be sharpened for next day's service. Those will ship tomorrow, Friday the 21st, with all of the as shown inventory. If you fall outside that first 3, not to worry. Again, backlog for sharpening is low. Your sharpened knife will ship in 2 to 3 weeks. If you see the word sold, all caps exclamation point, in that pricing column, the knife you're looking at has been bought and paid for by its new owner, so no need to send an I'll take it or an inquiry about anything marked sold. I think that's it for the housekeeping. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you, and we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we got a few leftovers from last night, and we're going to start it with watches. And the first one is a G-Shock. Comes with this here little card that gives you the long model number. Let's see, GW-B5600BC-1BJF, running the 3461 module. And here she is. Now this watch would have come on, a combi bracelet, and it would have been black. But this one is outfitted with the white case, shroud, and strap. It is a large negative display. And we ran this last week, and it does not say multiband 6 on the dial, but it actually is, because I ran it through that today. Multiband 6 and Bluetooth. Standard square G-Shock dimensions, which I will tell you. So 43 millimeters from smallest point to smallest point, 48 lug to lug, sort of, 12.5 thick, proprietary lug width. And it's also going to come with a black case shroud and strap that appear to be unused, as does this white. This watch sat in the box so long it actually went dead, so I had to set it out in the sun a little bit today. But we're all rolling now. This watch, brand new, web retail with the combi bracelet, was $150. So we don't have a combi bracelet, but we have 2 sets of shrouds and straps. We ran it last week at $110, and it's near mint inbox with papers. Dropped it to $95 for the weekend. This week, $85 all in for the G-Shock 5600. Next up, our second and final watch tonight comes in this rather large package. We have an outer box, an inner box. It slides back. There's a big packet of portfolio information. This one is from Christopher Ward. Whoops, upside down. A right smart looking timepiece. It's the C60 Trident Pro 300 automatic diver. A stunning piece. I have a flat chamfered and slightly proud sapphire crystal. Ceramic bezel insert on the 120 click bezel. It is of course unidirectional. Lines up perfectly. Just a slight bit of back play. Case diameter 41.5, 49 lug to lug, 11.5 thick, and a 22 millimeter lug width. Comes on the factory oyster style bracelet with screw pins. I believe it has been sized and the extra links are in the box. We have a display case back showing off the Sellita SW200-1 automatic movement. Fully milled clasp, on the fly, micro adjust, mostly brushed but some polished chamfers. There is one little nick in the polished chamfer right by my thumbnail, and a very slight bit of dust rash on the clasp, but nothing major. How's it doing timekeeping? It's running about plus 11 in 24 hours since I set it and left it dial up. Pretty nice package, and you're going to get not one but two Christopher Ward signed buckle straps. I have a canvas on red rubber and a two-piece nylon that's very thick, robust seatbelt type fabric. Pretty cool. This watch has a web retail of $10.95, and I believe you have to order those from England, and I believe you'll pay some customs and some postage and all that. This one we ran last week at $750 on Thursday night, dropped it to $700 for the weekend. This week $650, guys, for a very near mint in box with papers. C60 Trident Pro 300 from Christopher Ward. Nice watch. Next up, the leftovers continue. This one from Microtech. It is the 166-1 DLCS Hawk automatic. A super sweet side folding auto. We have a plain sort of matte finished black hard anodized aluminum handle, carbide glass breaker in the butt, standard right hand tip up pocket clip. Serial number is 119 on this one, right there. Side folding button lock auto with a wicked hawkbill blade, and that is in CTS XHP. Blade length 4 inches, handle 5. Lockup is rock solid. Centering is dead perfect. Action is Microtech-y. Beautiful. We'll call this like new in box. These are out of stock when they were available. And by the way, this is a signature series knife, as the pocket clip bears testimony, even though the box doesn't say so. Out of stock at $5.95 web retail. We ran this last week for $4.95. Got no takers. Dropped it to $4.50 on Saturday. Let's go $4.20 this week. $4.50, like my edge on that hawkbill blade. That is the 166-1 DLCS Hawk Automatic from Microtech. Next up, more Microtech. This one is the 142-1 GC for green camo, double-edged combat Troodon. And here is the knife. Hard to see unless the light hits it right, but the camo pattern is because the OD green fades to black. Standard Microtech clip and nut with the ball bearing glass breaker. Serial number on this one is 15099, built June of 2015. It is a double action out the front automatic. And even the blade, that green and black camo. Button effort is firm but barely. This could be a movie viewing fidget knife, actually. 100% reliable. Blade 3 11/16, handle 5 3/4, near mint to like new in box. These were $5.95 web retail when they were available brand new. By the way, the steel is LMAX. We ran this last week at $4.95, got no takers, dropped it to $4.60 for the weekend. Still here, let's go $4.25. No need to sharpen on the Microtech 142-1 DC Combat Troodon in green camo. Next, we have another leftover, one of two Benchmades left over. No box with this one, but you would get a Benchmade microfiber pouch. The knife is kind of a legend. One of the early titanium frame locks from Benchmade, and they did it a little different than everybody else. We got kind of a, I would almost call it an acid stonewash over blasted titanium scales. Beautiful bright dimples and perforations that have bright chamfers, just beautiful. Sort of a parkerized long right-hand tip-down pocket clip, and there's your blade. Oak Grove choppers, not sure what's up with that. We have a combo edge blade in S30V. This is the 630 SBK Skirmish, designed by Neil Blackwood. The S30V blade is 4 5/16. The handle is 5 7/16. A non-steel inserted titanium frame lock on phosphor bronze. It's more of a sweeper than a flicker. Opens with the hole. Rock solid lockup. No stick, no slip. Centering is close, but off a little bit to the low side as you're looking at it. Condition, we will say excellent to near mint. Discontinued and out of stock. Sold listings on eBay are wild, between $450 and $900. Now this is maybe overly personalized and it's not perfect, but we ran it last week at $295, got no takers, dropped it to $260 for the weekend. This week, a piece of Benchmade history can be yours, and a pretty nice example. $225 like it is $250 with my Edge, the 630 SBK Skirmish from Benchmade. Next up, another Benchmade, a black class knife. The 4170 BK Auto Fact. I think this is a pretty cool knife. Sort of smoky, natural, hard anodized aluminum, bolsters and end caps, carbon fiber scale in the middle, pocket clip ambidextrous tip up deep carry. The mechanism is the Benchmade Auto Access spine mounted safety, and a nice stiff one actually, quite positive. Just pull back on the access bar and out comes the blade. Looks like a black Cerakote S90V on the Auto Fact. The blade is 3 7/8 inches in length. The handle is 4 3/4, so very efficient blade to handle ratio. Nice long skinny stabbing machine there. So the action is auto access, beautiful. The lockup is rock solid. Blade centering is, what did I say? I called it perfect. Let's see. I don't know what you guys think, but it's pretty perfect. We'll call this near mint in box. Current web retailer Benchmade map price for this knife is $387. We ran this last week at $260. Didn't sell. Dropped it to $230 for the weekend. This week, let's go $210. $235 with my Edge on the Benchmade Auto Fact. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first three. Next up, we got a little Spidey box. Yes, we do. Inside, we have a Squeak TI. So this would be sort of one of the European slip joint fusion knives from Spyderco. Beautifully satin finished titanium scales. Just some super fine little hairlines on the show side. And then a little bit of evidence that the clip has been used. You get a little scuff underneath. A half stop slip joint. The blade is Lmax, 2 inches in length. Kind of a small leaf, and it goes great in the hand. 3 fingers on it. Yeah. The handle length is 3 inches. I'm going to call the pull weight a 6.5. Walk and talk are snicky and nice. Centering is dead perfect. Condition near mint in box. Discontinued and out of stock. The last retailer I could find that had them with a price was Blade Vault. They were $225. We ran this one last week for $150. Didn't sell. Dropped it to $130 for the weekend. Still here. Let's go $115 this week and then $135 with my edge on that blade. The Squeak TI from Spyderco. Next up, we got one from Emerson. And you can't tell because some bonehead retailer put their stupid sticker over the sticker on the box. Nice. Nice work. Anyhow, here's the knife that is the Super CQC8. The big mama jama of the CQC8. Black G10. Still has that weird little Emerson effect going on. Parkerized right-hand tip-up pocket clip. Opens with the thumb disc or the wave. Let's see. Flicks out rather nicely. My consignor Tim used this knife to remind him of the consequences of his bad choices. You got a 154 cm blade, 4 1/4 inches in length, backed up by a 5 15/16 handle. Lots of real estate, boys. Nice jimping. The titanium liner lock locks up right there beautifully. Zero slip. Tiny little bit of stick, but you kind of like that. Blade very well centered for an Emerson. We will say this is near mint to like new in box. This model is currently out of stock. When they were available, they were $277 web retail. We ran this last week at $225. Didn't sell, dropped it to $200 for the weekend. This week, let's go $185, like it is, $210 with an Apostle P edge. Next day sharpening is available. That is the Emerson Super CQC8. Next up, and I believe our last leftover in tonight's sale, it's from Cobratec. I assume they are a Chinese company. Get a little pelican-like box. It is the CTBK-LH OTF Auto Karambit. Whoops. I'm knocking stuff over. That's not good. You're going to get the knife in this belt sheath, but it also has a clip. And here it is. Kind of a cool knife, don't you think? The pocket clip is actually tipped down because the knife comes out. You know how it works with OTFs, but it's ambidextrous. It's a ringtail. You put your index finger in there, and you got a button on the spine. You pull it, the blade comes out the back, or the front, or the back, or the front. Medium firm button effort. 100% reliable. Kind of a tumbled DLC kind of black finish. The handle's black hard anodized aluminum. The blade is 3 inches of D2. The handle's 5 7/8. These had a web retail price, or still do. They're still available for $180. We ran this near mint to like new in box example last week at $130. Didn't sell. Dropped it to $115 for the weekend. Still here. This week for $100, you get a heck of a conversation piece and maybe a usable defensive knife. Could you even press this into work cutting up carpet? I think you could. So yeah, $100 like it is, $140 with an Apostle P edge. The Cobratec OTF Auto Karambit. I'll put you back in your little home. Next up, we're on to the fresh stuff tonight. And we got a Microtech. The knife inside is the 227-12 Dirac Delta double edge with the fully serrated top edge. It is a black, hard anodized aluminum handle, kind of curvy, cool. Standard Microtech pocket clip, sporting the serial number and born date. The serial number is 2904, born 8 of 2020. Side-mounted firing button on the double-action OTF automatic. I'm going to say a medium button. 100% reliable, really reliable. The blade is CTS 204P, 3 11/16 inches in length. The handle 5 5/8 to the end of the glass breaker. Condition like new in box. Web retail for this knife currently available for $386. This one can be yours all in, shipped priority mail, $295. No need to sharpen. The 227-12 Dirac Delta from Microtech. Next up, we have another Combat Troodon. Be specific in your I'll take it, because we have another, the Camo OD green and black, and now we have this one. It is the 142-3 OD, right, for olive drab, double-edged Combat Troodon. There you go. OD green, hard anodized aluminum handle. Serial number is 28421, born 6 of 2020. Spine-mounted firing button. Medium firm. Not bad for a Troodon, actually. Double-edged blade, fully serrated top. CTS 204P is your blade steel. 3 11/16 inches of blade, 5 3/4 inches of handle to the end of the glass breaker. Reliability is 100%. I'm going to call it near mint in box because there's a little tiny bit of wear at the end of the clip. That's it. Current web retail for these, $509, and they're out of stock. This one, however, can be yours. Oh, there's a little bit of wear at the front of the handle too. But that's it. Only on one side. Anyway, out of stock at $509 web retail. Yours, this one for $395 shipped priority mail, and no need to sharpen. The 142-3 OD Combat Troodon double edge from Microtech. Next up, we got one from a blast from the Microtech past. Look at that old box, would you? This is the Microtech A163-8Z Socom Zombie Delta Tonto Edge. You guys remember this knife when zombies were all the rage. So I think you have a satin finished 6061 T6 aluminum handle that's hard anodized zombie green, and then we have this red paint splashed on it, you know, like zombie blood. Old style clip with the Zombie Tech etch. Titanium subframe lock with steel insert. Thumb stud deployment. Pivots on ball bearings. You got your, what is that, like the nuclear waste symbol? What does it say? 257. 2013 Delta. Okay. So I guess that's serial number 257, born in 2013. You got a 3 15/16 inch Tonto blade in premium stainless steel, because we don't know. A 5 1/16 handle. action is super sweet. I guess I got a little bit of lock slip, but nothing major. Still locks up super solid. And dead centering. Condition on this one will be near mint in box. Discontinued, not a stock. When they were available, they were $320 web new. Let's do $250 on this one. $285 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. The Socom Zombie Delta Tonto edge from Microtech. Next up, we have another Microtech, but it is not a side folding automatic. It is not an OTF automatic. It is not a manual folder. It comes in this big old box, and the sticker on the end says it's the SBD. Does that mean what I think it means, SBD? It probably does. Double edge, model 201-10, stonewash standard finish. This fixed blade comes in the carbon fiber effect Kydex sheath. A little bit of rattle. It will also come with a tech lock with Microtech fasteners and some rubber washers. When you take it out, you got that, baby. Yeah. So what's that say? Serial number, I forgot to write it down. I'm going to have to read it. Number 598, born 12 of 2020. The blade steel is M390. 4 3/8 is the blade length on that broad bladed dagger. Quad flat ground, beautifully machined and sharpened. Microtech does such a nice job. Not necessarily super slicey, but they do such a good job. The handle is black G10 removable scales. And let's see, the handle length is 4 5/8. If I didn't say it, the blade is 4 3/8. It is near mint to like new in box. Currently available, the only retail I could find them in stock at was PVK for $350. This one can be yours shipped priority mail all in at $275. I don't usually advise sharpening double-edged daggers, but this has some breadth to it. It'll actually cut stuff. So if you want me to sharpen it, add 40. Sharpening will be $315 all in, okay? That's the Microtech 201-10 SBD double-edged fixed blade dagger. Next up, we have one from Paragon, Asheville Steel. Pretty iconic knife right here, boys. It is the Estiletto single action out the front automatic. Look at that big boy. We got a pocket clip that looks like to be right hand tipped down because it's an OTF, right? Goes pretty deep in the pocket. I think this is a black hard anodized finish on some aluminum scales. Pretty nice satin underneath that. You know, also, it does have a safety. So that is the safe position. Then you pull back. There's your long DLC coated S30V double-edged blade. To retract, push the firing button and pull back. Right? It's not super fast coming out, but it's very reliable. The blade length is 5 3/8. The handle 7 1/2. It is near mint to like new in the box. They're long out of stock. When they were available, they had a web retail of about $250. This one can be yours. Super cool conversation piece and a very well-made knife. $190, like it is. If you want me to sharpen both edges, I will. And again, it's kind of a usable blade, but it ain't going to be cheap. $40. So $230 sharpen. That's probably not enough. Don't make me do it, guys. That is the Estiletto from Paragon. Next up, a pretty cool knife from an American knife company manufactured by some partners in Italy. It is the Tops Knives CQT Magnum 711 TP. I'm not sure what TP is. But anyway, pretty cool knife. Manufactured for them by Fox Knives in Maniago, Italy. And you're going to get a little bit of HP 100 knife oil as well. And here's the knife. Scales are coarse black G10. That top layer almost has a little bit of a espresso cast to it. Very similar to old cold steel G10, right? Pocket clip will be ambidextrous tip down deep carry. The blade comes flying out of there. N690CO is your blade steel. A darling of Fox Knives, by the way. Great knife steel. Black coated. Blade length is 4.5 inches a Tonto blade. The handle's 5 3/4. Has a bit of Almar sear profile, doesn't it? The mechanism is a thick stainless steel liner lock. Locks up beautifully. Rock solid. It works with thumb studs and ball bearings. Action's beautiful. Lockup is dead rock solid. Blade centering is, let's see if I can get you a shot of it. There it is. Perfect. Near mint in box. I found one nick in the G10 right at the back of this one hole. Okay. Not really a big deal. Anywho, these are discontinued, not a stock when they were available. They were $160 web retail. On this one, let's do $110 shipped priority mail, $140 with my edge on that big, beautiful Tonto blade. The top CQT Magnum 711 TP. Next up, did I say something about cold steel and G10? Well, I have a cold steel Swift 1, and it has G10 scales, but they don't look anything like what I just showed you. Look at that. We have some blasted, like 3D machined, slightly crowned, and blasted black G10. Still great texture, but sort of smoothish, not a pocket ripper. Let's see. Clip, kind of funky Demco-y. I do have the lefty clip, by the way. The right-hand tip-up is installed. It is a spring-assisted knife with a safety, I believe. Yeah. There we go. Triad lock with a spring assist. In fact, they call it the FlashTech mechanism. Blade steel is CTS XHP. Blade length 3 9/16. Pretty cool looking, sort of swedged harpoon spear. Handle length 4 15/16. You think it's good in the hand? I think it is. You can even sneak up on it. Yeah. Oh, it actually feels really good in that grip. Rock solid lockup. No big shock there, I guess. You saw the action with the spring, and the centering is beauteous. Near mint to like new in box. These are discontinued, not a stock when they were available. They had a web retail of $140. On this one, let's do $110 like it is, $135 with an ApostleP edge. A pretty freaking cool cold steel, I got to say. So $110 like it is, $135 with my edge. Next day sharpening is available on the Swift 1 from Cold Steel. Next up, I believe I teased you guys about this yesterday in the heads up video. We have a blast from the Almar past when men were men and women liked it, and Almar designed knives that were made in Seki City, Japan. This one is the AM-PA2 Payara from Almar. It looks like pretty standard old Almar construction. Thick stainless steel liners, pillared construction, standard texture black G10. A bit of a well-used PVD coated tip down right hand only clip. Thumb stud actuation. Stainless steel liner lock. The washers are Teflon. The blade, although not marked, is VG10. You got your Almar maker's mark on this side, and then you have your FM Company Japan Rexroth design stamped into the tang. Those beautiful Almar thumb studs. There's the engagement on your liner lock. Zero blade plane any direction. Super hydraulic Teflon action. And perfect blade centering. Actually, I called it very close. Why did I say that? I think it favors the top as you're looking at it slightly. The lock side, so that's good. These are discontinued, not a stock. By the way, 3 3/4 inches of blade, 5 1/16 of handle. When these were available, they were $220 web retail. For this piece of history with the box, let's do $160 like it is and $195 with my edge on that recurved Tonto blade, the Payara from Almar. Next up, we have one manufactured by Fox Knives in Maniago, Italy, but it's kind of a Bastinelli knife, right? The Bastinelli Geco folder. I'm not quite sure how those alliances work in Maniago, but they're all kind of this on the same team, right? Beautiful satin finished, 3D machined and crowned G10 scales. A Parkerized deep carry right hand tip up pocket clip that's been tumbled a little bit. It's pre-worn, right? Bronze anodized titanium frame side. Stainless steel insert on the frame lock. Big flipper tab. Great flipping action. We got a tumbled DLC blade. Italy Maniago. Blade steel is N690CO. And that very stylized Tonto is 3 7/16 inches in length. The handle's 4 7/8. Rock solid lockup. Nice engagement. Ball bearing pivot works great. Blade centering is perfect. Can I show you? Let's see. Where is it? There it is. Flipping action's sweet. We're going to call this like new in the box. These are currently available for a web retail of about $239. We're going to offer this one, a superb example like new, at $170 like it is, $200 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Bastinelli Geco folder. Next up, we've got one from ZT, and it must be a real beast. The knife inside, according to the label, is the ZT 0055, designed by GTC, Gus Cecchini. It is an all titanium frame lock knife, steel lock face inserted variety, pocket clip. Although it looks asymmetrical, it does go right or left hand tip up. It flips via the SLT hidden flipper. And it flings out that sort of nightmare ground modified sheep's foot. Blade steel is S35VN. The blade length is 3 7/16. The handle is 5 1/8. The backspacer is sort of a floating blue hard anodized aluminum backspacer. There's your lock engagement. See how the flipper tab hides. Lockup is rock solid. Action is beautiful. Centering is perfect. Condition like new in the box. They are now discontinued, not a stock. Didn't sell that well. The last retail pricing reference I have was at Blade HQ, and they had a clearance price of $169. I think these originally had a map in the $225 range. Anywho, given the state of things, let's do $135 on this like new in box example. $165, I sharpen that strangely ground blade. The ZT is 0055. Next up, I know I teased you guys about this one. It's a Spyderco, and we have a bit of a run of Spydercos coming. This is the Smallfly 2. A very interesting Balisong. Nice spring-loaded latch. Gets out of your way. And then you have a beautiful droppy spear blade. Blade steel is S30V. The blade length is 3 5/16. The handle length is 4 3/16. Let's see. It does not latch in the open position, by the way. On phosphor bronze washers. Very minimal play. Scales are G10, and the clip goes in all 4 positions. Tip up. And it is a wire clip. Condition on the Smallfly is near mint to like new in box. They're currently available for a Spyderco map price or web retail of $270. Let's go $210 on this one, $235 with my edge. The Smallfly 2 Balisong from Spyderco. Next up, here's a Spidey I've never seen one of. This is the Tropen, Tropen. Pretty interesting knife. Vote Design VOGT, polished black G10 scales. Tumble polished Spyderco clip, but it is right hand tip up only. It is a compression lock knife with a ball bearing pivot. You can open this knife via flipper, or I guess you could use the hole. Could you use the hole? Let's see. Yeah, you can use the hole. Perfect centering. Or you can wave it. What do you think of that? You can wave it, you can hole it, you can flip it. It's on bearings. Let's see. Blade is 3 15/16 of S30V. Handle length is 5 1/8. Lots of real estate. The flipper tab will catch your index finger as you're dropping it shut. Rock solid lockup. Let's see. There we go. You got to get your finger out of the way. Perfect centering. Perfect action. Near mint in box. These are discontinued, not a stock. When they were available, they were $233 map pricing. Let's do $160 on this one like it is $185 with an ApostleP edge. The Tropen from Spyderco. Next up, we have a knife, and it's coming in a pouch, but I don't believe this knife came in a pouch. This is an unnumbered pouch. The knife is the Spyderco Amalgam, a Lai design, L-A-I. A couple very tasteful mods on this one. You have bronze hardware and kind of a dark bronze titanium deep carry clip. Original is in the box, by the way. It is a compression lock and a ball bearing flipper. Beautiful blade. S30V steel, 3 13/16 inches of snubby spear point. The scale material is the carbon fiber over G10 laminate with a little peel ply texture. You can hole it. You can flip it. All works well. We'll call it near mint in pouch with some nice upgrades. Even the lanyard tube's got a little bronze cast in it. Pretty cool. Anywho, $247 map price for these brand new. Let's do this one at $185 like it is, $210 with an ApostleP edge. The Spyderco Amalgam. Next, got another Spyderco in a pouch. Here's the pouch. This tag says Spyderco Canis, but there's not a Canis in here. What there is in here is this. What a beaut. This is the Spyderco Magnitude. So, y'all remember the Rubicon, which was what, a Peter Carey design? Is that right? Am I right? Let's see. I am right. The Magnitude is kind of the bigger version, and I think a more usable version because of the blade shape. We got 3 1/2 inches of S30V, Hollow ground, sort of a little harpoon with a swedge. Very thin behind the edge. Lots of usable belly. Carbon fiber scales. Brown G10 backspacer and pivot collars. And then kind of a proprietary right-hand tip-up clip. It's a titanium liner lock mechanism. No steel insert. And a ball bearing flipper. Lockup is dead rock solid. Centering is perfect. We're going to call it near mint to like new. I guess in the wrong pouch. These are discontinued, not a stock when they were available. They were $3.15 Spyderco map pricing. I found one sold listing on eBay for this knife. It was originally listed at $3.34 by it now, and it's sold on a best offer. So I don't know. I know this one though is going to be $275 like it is, $300 with my edge, the magnitude from Spyderco. Next up, I got an interesting little package for you here. I got a Spyderco box with a couple rubber bands wrapped around it, and inside is a murdered Yo-Jumbo. 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 Your factory scales will be in the baggie. And what else is in here? The factory clip in the baggie. Because I got something special to show you. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. That is... Now, my seller just sent me Lava Flow. I don't know if that's actually Kieranite or some other brand name of acrylic composite, but look at the chatoyance. Oh, my. Oh. So, yeah, a great way to outfit a murdered Yo-Jumbo, complete with the black-coated, long, deep-carry titanium pocket clip. Now, with these scales on, that's going to be right-hand tip-up only. Wow. It's better than that. There we go. There's your blade. Look at that black-coated S30V. Blade length on the Yo-Jumbo is 4 inches. The handle 5 3/8. I've got it set with 0 blade play right now, but it's not quite a free dropper. And the centering is a ways off as assembled. You might want to get in there and play with that. So I'm going to call it near mint in box. Map price currently for the Yo-Jumbo as originally configured is $250. Then add the cost of those scales in that clip. You got to be north of $300. This one can be yours at $195 like it is, $220 with an ApostleP edge, and next day sharpening is available. That's the Yo-Jumbo custom scales from Spyderco. Next up, speaking of Spydercos from Golden, Colorado, USA Earth, and Yo Spydercos, we have a Yo-Jumbo 2, black and purple. This was a DLT trading exclusive. There are your purple G10 scales. This is wearing a deep carry black coated titanium pocket clip that goes 4 ways. And I believe the original is in the box. Yes, sir. So it's a compression lock knife with a Warncliffe blade in CPM crew wear. Yeah. DLC coated, of course. Phosphor bronze washers and an opening hole. Rock solid lockup. That one does have free drop in action. And a blade perfectly centered. We'll call it near mint in box. These are discontinued, not a stock. Now, one sold listing on eBay for this exact model, and it did $240. Then you would have had to pay tax and all that good stuff on eBay. But on this one, very near mint in box, your price $195 like it is, and $220 with an ApostleP edge. The Yo-Jumbo 2 PRP DLC crew from Spyderco. Next up, another Spidey. I have a soft spot in my heart for that model right there. Native Chief. But then it says black CPM 4V. There might be a little red microfiber in there. This might be a St. Nick's exclusive, and it is. Red G10. Black titanium deep carry clip. Original is in the box. It goes 4 ways. The blade is a long, skinny DLC coated leaf in CPM 4V. Oh my. Blade length 4 1/16, handle 5 1/8, mid-lock mechanism with the bushing pivot like a native. Rock solid lockup. Let's see. Not quite a free dropper. Not sure you want it to be. Blade centering on this one, I'm saying, what am I saying? Well, it might be perfect. It might favor the top just slightly. I don't know. Call it what you want. Close enough. Near mint in box. Out of stock at St. Nick's. Sold listings on eBay from $230 to $280. This one can be yours. $189 shipped priority mail. $219 with an ApostleP edge on that 4V blade, and next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 3. The Native Chief Red DLC 4V. Next up, we have the Rob's Pick for tonight. It is a Spyderco. It hails from Taichung, Taiwan. It is the Blade HQ exclusive Gale Bradley 2 in natural G10 and crew wear, but the original G10 scales are hiding here in the box, along with the factory clip, because we have some stuff going on. Yes, we do. And it's really good stuff. The scales are custom. They are a marbled carbon fiber with a little brass running through them. The pocket clip is black coated, titanium deep carry. If you're wearing these scales, only goes right hand tip up, but you could drill those scales because it has 4-way frame. The blade, the Legend, but in CPM crew wear this time. You got 3 5/8 inches of blade, 4 13/16 inches of handle. You got rock solid lockup on the heavy stainless steel liner mechanism, phosphor bronze washers, and an opening hole. Opens beautifully, closes beautifully, centers beautifully. Condition, very near mint in box, as modded. We have the original scales. We have the original clip. When these were available brand new, the web price at Blade HQ, and they're out of stock now, was $192. Plus what? I don't know, another $80 for hardware. Very tasteful, by the way. So probably what, $170, $175 for this whole, or $270, $275 for this whole package. Your price? I think the screamingest deal of the night. $160 like it is, $185 with my edge. That's the Gale Bradley 2 custom scales and crew wear. Next up, speaking of Spyderco and speaking of Gale Bradley, we have an Advocate CQI, meaning the bigger, more beautiful ball bearings. Orange peel titanium scale set, polished edges, tumble polished clip that is tip up ambidextrous. We got a flipper. We got a hole. We got a titanium frame lock with a steel insert. It's rock solid. It's smooth as butter. It's perfectly centered. We have a blade in CPM M4, 3.5 inches in length, 4 9/16 handle, near mint to like new in box, discontinued, not a stock. Sold listings on eBay are wildly disparate, ranging between $247 and $520. This gorgeous example can be yours at $275 like it is, $305 with my edge on it. That is the Spyderco Bradley Advocate CQI version. Next up, another Spyderco. Another one from Golden, Colorado, USA. Earth. This is the Manix 2 XL. It says black and red because it's in the wrong box. Okay, wrong box. But it is a Manix 2, and it's not an XL. It's a regular Manix 2, DLT, dealer exclusive, purple G10, DLC blade, and black hardware. What a gorgeous knife that is, guys. And by the way, the blade steel, CPM crew wear. Man, what a sweet blade. You have 3 3/8 inches of crew wear, 4 5/8 inches of handle. Everything is black in the hardware department, including the ball cage. Phosphor bronze pivot. Are you watching that? Free swinger, rock solid. Blade centering would be, I don't know, would perfect be okay? The cage ball lock. Everything is perfect. It is like new in the box. These are discontinued and out of stock. So Country Knives has or had these available for $235. They're gone. One sold listing on eBay at $365. This one can be yours, just like it is for $225, or with my edge for $250. Next day sharpening available. That is the Spyderco Manix 2 Purple DLC Crew. Next up, I have the current iteration of the old pair of blue jeans in small EDC folders. It's from Benchmade, comes in a blue box. It is the 555-S30V Mini Griptilian. You've got black Normal GTX scales. You've got a Parkerized Emerson style pocket clip. You have the hole in the blade version of the modified sheep's foot. Blade steel's S30V. 2 15/16 inch blade. 3 7/8 handle. Axis lock. Rock solid lockup. Not quite a free swinger, but close. On the phosphor bronze washers, the lockup is rock solid. The centering is, I'm going to say, very close. It is like new in the box. These are currently out of stock. When available, they were $135 map price. Let's do this one at $100 like it is. $125 with my edge. The 555-S30V Mini Grip. Next up, we have one from, Sig by Hogue. And the knife inside is the model 36377 K320 AXG. So the K320 is a pretty cool knife, and the AXG is the big Mama Jama. Not necessarily in size, but in configuration. Black hard anodized aluminum scales, checkered walnut inlays. Of course Hogue would do that. And the best pocket clip known to man. Your finger slides down, and it grabs coming up. Slides down, grabs, slides down, grabs. Deep carry ambidextrous, 4 ways. Opens with a hole, and not very intuitively. The blade, I don't know what coating that is, might be Cerakote. Nice swedged spear, broad blade. S30V is your steel, 3.5 is the blade length. 4 9/16 is the handle length. The Able lock mechanism and phosphor bronze washers. Yeah. Centering is perfect. Condition like new in the box. These are available brand new for a web retail of $198. This one can be yours all in, shipped priority mail. $150 like it is. If you'd like my edge, $175. Next day sharpening is available. That's the Hogue Sig K320 AXG. Next up, we have one from, it's just from Chris Reeve Knives, no big deal. Small and Cosi, natural canvas micarta inlay, Insingo blade. Yeah, you can buy one of these anywhere. There's your birth card. S45VN at 60 to 62 Rockwell. Natural Canvas micarta, born February 7th, 2023. Here is the knife. I have 0 trails. A little bit of oil from your skin has already made its way into the micarta. It's kind of a, factory fresh, stiffish action. There's your Insingo blade. 2 3/4 inches of S45 and then 3 3/4 inches of handle. You have a Reeve integral lock with a ceramic ball interface locking up thusly, rock solid of course. Silky smooth, if not a little stiff action. Centering is very close, but I don't think it's perfect because I'm anal like that. The lanyard has been cut and it is included, just so you know. So we'll call it near mint in box. You can buy one of these brand new. You want to order one from Chris Reeve. It'll take about 6 months to get there. And it'll cost you $525. Or just buy this one now. Shipped, priority mail, all in. $400 like it is. $425 with my edge on that Insingo blade. That's the small Incosi from Chris Reeve. Next up, I got a lot going on over here, boys. A lot going on. Okay. This one is from those brothers Shirogorov, the Ursus line. This is the Quantum Ursus in Chromax powdered metal with beige G10 inlays in the MRBS pivot system. Here is the birth card, or the authenticity card. Looks like the serial number is 6090040. Here is the knife. What a beauty. What a beauty. Beautifully stonewashed titanium. Beautiful G10 inlays. Milled titanium right-hand tip-up pocket clip. Ball-bearing flipper, of course. Look at that stunning blade. There's your Chromax PM steel identifier. 3 3/4 inches of blade, 5 1/16 of handle. There is your lock engagement. Early but solid. Rock solid. Centering just what you'd expect. Whoops. Got to keep the fingers off the lock bar, looks like. Yeah. Condition on this one will be near mint to like new in box. They are out of stock. When they were last available, they were $625 web retail, and you can't buy one. One sold listing for this exact configuration with the beige G10 on eBay. It did $756 sold. This one can be yours, $550 like it is. $580 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge, and next day sharpening is available. The Quantum Ursus NL from Shirogorov. Next up, we got one from the boys at Ferrum Forge by way of China. It is the Stinger titanium button lock in Nitro V with the brimstone carbon fiber inlay. What a little stunner of a gent's knife that is. That brimstone carbon fiber is good looking stuff. There's your button. There's your flipper. Beauty. Beautiful drop point blade. Lots of belly in Nitro V. Little forward choil. Oh, that just melts into the hand right there. 3 1/8 blade, 4 3/16 handle. Rock solid lockup. Beautiful ball bearing pivot. Perfect centering. Shorty deep carry clip, right hand tip only. Condition near mint in box. These are currently available for a web retail of $209. By the way, the scales are titanium. This one can be yours all in. Shipped priority mail, $145 and $170 with my edge. Next day sharpening is available. The Ferrum Forge Stinger in brimstone carbon fiber. Next up, we have a very special knife from Wee. Let's see, the label says it's the Wee 220 38 Alpha-1 Exciton, I don't know. Black titanium handle, twill carbon fiber integral backspacer, silver bead blasted CPM 20 CV blade, limited edition of 205 pieces. You even get a certificate of authenticity telling you the same story. Oh, and you get a knife. So I love the black hard anodized titanium, and then the bright, very fine millwork that's anodized bronze, then the bronzed hardware, the milled titanium black right-hand tip-up pocket clip, button lock mechanism, ball bearing flipper. Oh, it's beautiful. Got a large hollow grind, beautiful spear point blade, forward choil, nice run of jimping. And then there's your integral carbon fiber backspacer with a little lanyard hole. Nice and discreet. Rock solid lockup. 3 11/16 blade, beautifully bead blasted. 5 inches of handle. Just a super fine creation from we. Lockup is rock solid. The centering's perfect. Condition like new in the box. Number 31 of 205. Discontinued, not a stock at $344 web retail. This one will be a nice buy for somebody at $250 like it is. $280 with my edge on that 20 CV blade. The Exciton limited edition from we. Next up. Oh, long reach, boys. Here we go. It's from SOG. It's a big fixed blade. Pouch in the sheath, sharpening stone. Nice snap. And there is the knife. Are you kidding me? It is called the SOG Super Sog Bowie. Oh, Osage steel. Beautifully satin finished and PVD coated. Stainless steel guard, stainless steel pommel, also PVD coated. There's your nut. Stacked leather. Finger groove handle with white spacers. It might be kind of good in the hand. 7 7/16 blade, 5 7/16 handle. Near mint, no box, with sheath. Currently available for a web retail between $205 and $250. We're going to do this one at $160 shipped priority mail, $195 with an Apostle P edge. The Super Sog. What a piece of work. Save me from myself, boys. Well, that brings us to the last item in tonight's sale. It's another fixed blade knife from an up-and-coming company, Tour Knives. Let's see, what's the label say? It's the Mullet in ebony wood. Looks like it retails for $325, and that's what they sell for online, by the way. It comes in a FlexTech Kydex sheath. No additional hardware included. Not a bad thumb break. The blade is CPM 154. Tumbled black oxide coating. Very, very durable looking finish. And then there's your ebony wood. I'm assuming the Macassar variety. It's got a little bit of blonde in it. Nicely machined and finished. 3 15/16 blade, 4 9/16 handle. This has a user applied edge, and it's pretty good. I'm not going to tell you to sharpen this one. So as I said, web retail is $325. Near mint in box with sheath. Let's do this one at $240 like it is. No need to sharpen. The Mullet from Tour Knives. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the Apostle P channel. I hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Have at her, boys.